And when I go into every office, I see the picture of the president. I don't mean any disrespect, but is that also a symbol of that is compulsory? You understand? Like, I wonder why I don't see the picture, a framed, beautiful picture of the Constitution of Kenya, of the preamble signed by the Kibaki.
They want to replace the picture of the president in public offices with the Constitution. I mean, with all respect, do you know how ludicrous that is? That is the change people want, right? But if you ask them, how will that give you a job, provide for you a good life in Kenya, help you have opportunities in Kenya? The Constitution was written by humans, and we elect a human in power to uphold that Constitution so we can hold them accountable. So maybe the Constitution should be the president. Are you guys understanding? When we want change, people come up with all sorts of ideas, right? We wanted change in Cameroon. All of a sudden, people came up with Ambazonia. People came up with all sorts. This is the same thing that is happening in Kenya. People will come up with all sorts of ideas. But one thing that they are not advocating for is cessation. But people are coming up with all sorts of crazy ideas. I've been following the case in Kenya closely, and I've heard all sorts of ridiculous ideas coming out of people's mind as to the change that they really want. And we can't have this, guys. We can't. And that is why I'm saying to Cameroonians, we got to define what that outcome is. But this idea of cessation and Ambazonia is not a conversation we should have. We are not going to divide. If you think Cameroon will divide, you're wasting your time. You're wasting your energy for no good reason. It is time for you to come back to reality. And even if it divides, I want to let you know you're getting into something worse than where you find yourself right now. 40,000 plus people have died already, so it's not better, right? It's not better. And if you think the economy of Cameroon or Yaoundé will collapse and somehow your economy will thrive and they will not be able to sustain the war because their economy has collapsed, all of these stories will only push our nation into more debt to help solve this problem. And at the end of the day, we all have to deal with this debt and deal with this problem. The earlier we get to reality and start addressing these things right now, because everyone in that nation is going to pay. Even if you are benefiting from the war right now, your children will struggle at some point in the future. If things go sideways, it's going to affect everybody. The fight between the haves and the have-nots will become the norm. And guess what? Society will not be convenient for everybody. So the earlier we collectively come together and start working out our differences, and if you are a Cameroonian, you were born in that land, you have a national ID card or birth certificate, or you have any stake in Cameroon, it's high time we come together and fix our nation. And I want to let you know, President Paul Biya does not own Cameroon. The government does not own Cameroon. The people voted for these individuals to represent us. Let that be clear. And so when there is a problem within the nation and you think that you should fight and destroy properties within your nation, thinking you are attacking the government, you're just increasing the problem. And at the end of the day, we got to figure out a way to erect these institutions. And so we are increasing more cost. It will end up with you getting to pay taxes to take care of those properties that have been destroyed. So this solution, this strategy is not sustainable at all. President Paul Biya does not own Cameroon. The people of Cameroon own Cameroon. The people of Cameroon, both French-speaking and English-speaking Cameroonians, own Cameroon. Maybe you don't understand your rights as a citizen within the nation. You don't understand who you are as a citizen in the nation. Yes, we elected these leaders in authority to govern us. If what they are doing, we do not agree, we can be able to get into the system, come up with a way to solve those problems without resorting to violence, destroying state properties, destroying private properties. At the end of the day, our economy is going down with that strategy. There is no income created when you go destroy a property. There is no income created when you go destroy a public property, you go destroy someone's property or someone's business, or you kidnap someone for ransom. You don't generate no income, because at the end of the day, the way you spend that money, there's no accountability for that. And so we'll end up paying somehow through taxes in the future, if not now, in the future. So it's time for us to think and act responsibly. We live in the 21st century. There are many resources at our disposal. We can harness skills that can be income generating and be able to create the kind of nation that we want to see for ourselves.
I mean, that is what we give the president to uphold. That is his custodianship in terms of mandate when you are a president. So I think we have to do away with the frills, with that kind of, self-aggrandizement, idolatry somewhat, because it's also, it's behavior modification. You keep seeing this image, and instead of seeing the Constitution, instead of seeing the rules by which we want to govern ourselves as a society, we see a person. And so none of us can get away with seeing this person, either at national government level, offices, public offices, private sector offices, county governments. Wow. I think it's time for us to put the symbols of power by the people where they should be.